Welcome back to a weekly trade review. Today is December 15th, and we are going to be reviewing AUDUSD. This was a signal that had been put out last week in the signal room that hit all of the TPs. It was put out on Wednesday, and we're going to do a full breakdown of AU, start on the higher time frame, and then we'll move to our entry zone and our setup. From there, we'll break down to the lower time frames, look at the transition that took place and where I entered. This one was a little bit different. There was definitely some confidence, and we were shifting from multiple time frames and looking at structure. So let's pretty much get right into this. As you can see right here, I have my long position tool already drawn out. We're going to just go back in time to when I was looking for entry on this. As you can see right here, I had actually triggered a short position. On the daily, we had a break of resistance right here and the formation of a new high. And after we see low break of a lower high like this and then a new higher high form, we're always looking for that first higher low to take action on whether we can find an entry in that area. So as you can see here, we got large body candles, so we want to break this down to a lower time frame to see if we can get a more clear picture using more of the candles that are on the chart. So on the 4-hour right here, we were forming a descending triangle right here, so that's when there's lower highs and just lows formed at the top of a bullish push upward. And based on that, I was looking for short opportunities because there was a little bit of a break right here and then a retest and bearish engulfing that happened right afterwards. So I was looking to short. I actually did short. We had then this support right here, and we had some seller's exhaustion. And looking up at this daily and looking as to how bullish it had been to break this level of support and resistance, this key level, break above there. And then also I'm going to bring on the moving averages right here. So we had broken above the moving average. The average of price shifted bullish on this. As you can see down here, we had this trend line that was forming as well, that was showing some bullish, higher low on a higher time frame right there. So we're looking overall for buys. Right here, we were still near that high, and we had bearish indications of patterns forming with this descending triangle. So right here, we're retesting this daily moving average, really the bottom of it. We're finding some buyers, some buying power coming into the market right there. So ultimately, we were evaluating it based on this. We have the break below. We have this 4-hour resistance right here, and that lines up as well with our 200-day moving average. So as you can see, price came back off of this level very aggressively. We have really our first buying opportunity coming all the way on this 4-hour candle, but at the same time, if we go down to the 30-minute time frame, right here, we can see how price blows through this previous lower high, this previous level of structure on this 30-minute, and there is a ton of bullish momentum at this point. What I actually did in the group is I signaled from this break up here without there being a retest, and I just used stop losses below this level, considering on how significant this transition is, because higher time frame structure is showing us a perfect daily low for a potential for a daily low or a daily higher low. So that is going to be on this 30-minute time frame. Let's go check into the signals. So I actually signaled at 68,400 right there. So it was right around where price started to break this resistance right here. I signaled for the trade to go out, and then we had stop loss 67,980. So again, my stop loss, if we just move this over, my stop loss was around 67,980, which is right where I got it right now. So yeah, and then we maintain this trade, watching it on the 1 hour, and then we can sort of make sense of, okay, 1 hour structure is breaking, we got 4 hour momentum shifting through the moving averages, nice entry on this 4 hour through that 200 day and break into this resistance right here. So we're going to maintain this trade, first looking to get to that 1-to-1 or 2 TP1. So we're looking to get to TP1, which came at 68,550 and then 68,650. So we hit TP1 and basically TP2. TP2 as well. So at this point, we are up on our long position tool. We just bring it into screen so we can actually see it a little bit more. We are going to be up talking about these 2 TPs. So until we get to 58 pips in profit, because that is actually what our stop loss had been set. Or actually, no, it's about 50 pips. Until we get about 50 pips in profit, we're going to keep our stop loss very, very close to our original, or we're going to keep it at the original, right? And so that would mean TP3 is really when we're thinking about putting it to 0. And actually, that's where I had mentioned it in the signals, is moving stop loss to 0. So on many pairs, we will just be trying to get to that a 1-to-1 level before moving it to 0. And in most instances, if you fib as well, you'll see that then you have the 38.2 and the 61.8 in play to protect yourself in the direction of the trend or the trade that you're in. So here we got 68,650, and then we went all the way up to TP3 right here. So TP3, which was 68,800, it made it all the way to 900. So it made up all the way to 68,900 right about. So that's 1-to-1. That's above 1-to-1. At this point, we're moving our stops to 0. And this is how we're maintaining this trade. But we're keeping in mind that this is actually a daily potential right shoulder. It's a daily lower high, right, in this instance. And if we even go to the weekly and clean up a little more, there's a serious weekly level of resistance that we got there. So we're playing it into the zone. We're seeing how price reacts. We got our stops at 0 at this point. And then, like I said, we're just monitoring this area. As we're getting about 75% in profit. We're almost near our TP. I will actually move my stops to 1-to-1. So in this instance, I'll move my stops to 1-to-1. So I'm securing that amount in. And then we're playing it into this 80 pip area, which ultimately comes to, now to maintain orders at this step, you can take 80% of your position off. So if you have a 1.0 in, you take 0.8 off, and then you let the other 0.2 run, and you keep your stop loss at 0. So you're just trying to completely maximize that last amount, stay in profit, and that's one way you can maintain it. So this was the trade review on AUDUSD from last week. Obviously, it was a very good trade because it went straight to TP, which is what we're looking for. But that also is playing it on that daily high or low. That daily high or low is very significant, and that's what we have to watch for as we're retesting that daily structure. I hope you enjoyed this video, and next week I look forward to giving you guys another trade review.